Arsenal 2-0 West Ham. Another day, another clean sheet at the Emirates. But this one had history written all over it. Mikel Arteta's 300th game in charge of Arsenal. 179 wins, 51 draws and 68 losses. And it's finally looking like he has got the right balance. Eberici Eze missed a massive chance early in the game. And even he couldn't believe it, with Declan Rice haunting his former club by scoring in the 30th minute of the game. But he chose not to celebrate. And as things were getting stretched, Bukayo Saka sealed it from the spot. In his 200th Premier League game for Arsenal, he has now got 55 goals and 45 assists, 100 goal contributions. Ødegaard, who looked great in the previous games, had to be forced off before halftime. And this is the third straight home start he had to exit early. And this makes him the first Premier League player to suffer that in 3 consecutive starts. And just to add to that, Rice also looked uneasy and had to be substituted. But with Liverpool dropping points and losing to Chelsea, Arsenal are now at the top of the Premier League table before the international break. Let me know if Rice should have celebrated or he did the right thing, and who was your player of the match. We have a lot to discuss, so let's get right into it. Now, this was Mikel Arteta's 300th game in charge, and he has now had 177 wins, 51 draws and 68 losses as an Arsenal manager. And to put that into context, he is into top 5 for the most wins of a top flight English side in their first 300 games. He's on 5th with Jurgen Klopp, 185 for Kenny Dalglish at Liverpool, Jose Mourinho at Chelsea during his first two seasons, and Pep Guardiola for Manchester City with 219 wins. So in general, I think this is a remarkable achievement, and there is no question about his ability in terms of, has he not improved Arsenal? Has Arsenal not gone up the ladder from somehow trying to qualify for the Champions League to now at least trying to challenge for the Premier League? So he has brought Arsenal from a team that was completely disjointed when he took over. Yes, we might be playing a better football, a better brand of play, but we were nowhere even close to competing for the Premier League. But now it has taken its own time, and the whole trust to process has come into the play. But for the past 3 seasons, at least none of the Arsenal fans can say that we have not competed or not even tried to win the league. And we have been never this close. And you can go back 15 years, or even let's say go back 20 years. We have never been this close to a title. But yes, that has not happened. And that's the biggest question mark on him. Not on his ability that if he has improved the team or not, but on his ability if he can really go beyond and get the silverware that all the Arsenal fans have been waiting for. And the moment he gets us that, it will be a masterstroke. Now, Declan Rice scored a fantastic goal against his former club, West Ham. Now, it came off an Eze strike. As the keeper parries it away, it comes to Declan Rice and he finishes it off in complete style. I think that nothing to take away from the finish. It was a very good shot. And this gives the lead to Arsenal in the 38th minute of the game. But this was just what Arsenal needed, a breakthrough. And Declan Rice was there to provide us with that. Now, he didn't celebrate, and I think I am perfectly fine with it. But there was some debate about it that now he has left West Ham. It has been close to 2 years and still he is not celebrating against his former team. And I'm not sure what is the big fuss here. He has been in West Ham since his academy days. And I think if he chooses not to celebrate, that's totally fine. It's just the respect that he has for West Ham, and that's what he is trying to show. But do let me know your thoughts. Him not celebrating, does it really mean that much? Now, in terms of stat, Arsenal completely dominated the game. There was no question about it. But there were some good plays from West Ham as well. And at times, it looked like they could hurt us on the counter. But Arsenal did have 21 shots to 5 shots on target, 69% possession with 585 passes, with 14 fouls and 0 yellow cards. So if you look at the game as a whole, we really dominated it. But there were bits and pieces and phases of the game where West Ham looked threatening and it could have hurt us. But I think one thing that is really stable in Arsenal right now is David Raya and Arsenal's defense. I think that is completely unreal, if I have to say. From the days of Mustafi, Kolasinac, I mean, we have come far. And to be honest, we have now 2 sets of back 4 that can play. You can either play Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, or you can play Ben White, Mosquera, Nketiah, and Lewis Kelly. And I think both of these sets will do the job. And another clean sheet for Arsenal. And that goes to say that defensively, we are sorted. But still, the questions that are there is in our forward department. We still don't look that fluent, and there's still a bit of question mark on Gyökeres. Now, the initial stats where it was like he's not getting the service, maybe he's still not getting that kind of service that he really needs. Most of the game, you will see him having his back towards the goal, which is not his strongest trait. He likes to play on the shoulders of the defender, try to get that through ball and run at the defenders. But that is not what he is getting right now. But hopefully, things should improve. And towards the end of the game, just where things were getting a bit stressed and Arsenal fans were feeling a bit restless, that we should get one more goal to add a bit of cushion to our lead. Bukayo Saka steps up. I think it's a beautiful ball. Timber gets fouled and Saka steps in to take the penalty. And he finishes off from the spot in style. And now Bukayo Saka has registered 100 goal contributions in the Premier League on just his 200th appearance in the competition. 55 goals, 45 assists, 100 goal contributions for Bukayo Saka. And last season and the starting of this season, he has a couple of injuries, but I really hope that he is back to full fitness, and because we need him firing if we want to have any chance of winning any silverware this season. We need our star boy. Now the worrying signs. Martin Ødegaard had to be forced off again in the first half due to an injury. It was a knee-to-knee clash and that didn't look good. And Martin Ødegaard was just coming off from multiple injuries that he suffered in the previous games. And even though he tried to continue, but it was just not happening for him. And he had to be substituted. And this marked his third consecutive home game start that ended prematurely, with him having to be forced off. And that's an unfortunate record right now. Because just when I was thinking that I would get to see Ødegaard, Eze and Saka, all three of them with Gyökeres on top, it just wasn't the day for it. Ødegaard with a knee-to-knee clash, he had to be forced off. But I hope things are not that bad as it looked at that time. And Ødegaard should be able to continue once the international break is over. So let's hope for the best. Because he was coming back to his actual Ødegaard form in the last two games. He had a very short but a very crucial cameo in the Newcastle game with an assist, and he had a man of the match performance against Olympiacos in the Champions. Let's hope it's nothing serious. Now Martin Zubimendi was brought on in place of Ødegaard, and he played a very crucial role in this Arsenal win. And mind you, this stat is unreal. He's 5'9", so Martin Zubimendi is 5'9", and Van Dijk is 6'4", and Martin Zubimendi shares a 90% aerial success rate with 6'4" Virgil van Dijk this season. Make it make sense. Even though there have been a couple of question marks about his performances and how if he really suits playing in the deeper number 6 role for Arsenal, but he was fantastic this game. He really pulled those strings at times which Arsenal needed. And there is one thing that I have to ask you, because personally I think Declan Rice is a proper number 6. He is a far more suited player to play in that role. And Zubimendi, because of his ball playing abilities, because of his ability to break down the defense, put on that chip, put on that through ball, put on that pass that could really break through the lines, I think I personally think that Arteta should at least give it a try to put Zubimendi maybe in a left-sided 8 or a right-sided 8, just to test it out, because I think he can really do magic there, because his ball playing abilities cannot be questioned. Now our squad depth is really helping Arsenal, and the way to understand this is we have Kai Havertz injured, Martin Ødegaard injured, Gabriel Jesus injured, we had Ben White injured, Saka injured, Noni Madueke injured, and we still have been able to rotate. We still have been able to grind out results, or some of the times get results properly and the way that we would have liked. And this would have not happened last season, because last season we collapsed the moment Saka got injured, Kai Havertz got injured, and Gabriel Jesus, and we were trying to make things work with Mikel Merino, Trossard and Martinelli, and that was just not happening for us. But this season, I think in terms of squad depth and what Bertha has done, I think it's masterstroke. We might have the best squad depth, and that is really coming into play right now, where we have so many people injured. And if you have to consider, most of these players would have been starters for the team. So hats off to Bertha, and hats off to the owner who have actually backed the manager, backed the team with so much of funding. And with that, the noisy neighbours have really helped Arsenal. Chelsea have defeated Liverpool at Stamford Bridge 2-1, and that puts Arsenal on the top of the table. Even though the gap is not huge, I think it's one of the best things that has happened to Arsenal just before the international break, where Arsenal currently now are on 16 points and Liverpool are on 15. Tottenham again 14, Bournemouth 14. And we just need to make sure that the players that are injured come back quickly and help the squad. And I think we should be able to grind out the results post the international break. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the game? And I do understand that this is one of the fantastic results that Arsenal would have hoped, a win against West Ham and Liverpool getting beaten at Anfield. Let me know your moment of the match and your player of the match in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, as this helps your brother and the channel grow. And I will see you in the next one.